What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. How are you today, folks? Come on in the room, y'all. I'm so excited to see y'all this morning. Come on in the room. Let me know that you're here so that we can get into our conversation today. And we have an amazing guest who's going to be joining us this morning as well. So come on in the room, people. Come on in the room. I see y'all rolling up in here. It's a good day. It's a good day to be seen, people. So come on up in here. I see y'all rolling up in here today. Now, see, I got in trouble yesterday calling out y'all's names. I can't do that today. But come on in the room, folks. Come on in the room. Make sure you're always chatting with each other while you're rolling in the room. Yesterday, I was able to sneak some shout outs. Today, I can't do that as much today. But we have an amazing guest who's joining us. If you know anybody who maybe they're going from their undergrad degree to a graduate degree, or maybe you know someone who's going from high school transitioning into college level, you want all of those people to tune in. So go ahead and hit that share button and say you might want to come visit, because we have Dr. Greta Oliver, who's from I'm messing up. She's from North Carolina. She's in the green room with us this morning. She will be coming on live to share with all of us real soon. So go ahead and hit that share button. Share is free, y'all. Go ahead and hit that share button and tell them to come on over here and hear what Dr. Greta Oliver has to say. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So I see y'all rolling up in here. So good morning to all of you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Wednesday. Yes, it is, y'all. It is National Coffee Day. Now, I set y'all up yesterday. Telling y'all to, where you can go to get all the free coffee. If you want to find that out, just go to yesterday's video, look in the chat thread. I have the link there for you to go do what you need to do. I see y'all rolling up in here. Good morning to you as well. So y'all, today is Wednesday, September the 29th, 2021. And it's time for today's headlines before we get to Dr. Greta Oliver on News in Motion this morning. Again, y'all, it is National Coffee Day. Whether you're watching live or the replay, I'm so glad you decided to take part of your morning to spend with me and all of the News in Motion family. We are so excited that you are here. Again, if you know of anyone who's going, they don't have to be a senior. They could be a junior. They could be a freshman. They could be in middle school. You're going to want to get this information. I see y'all talking about y'all was downloading those apps yesterday. Isn't that hilarious? Y'all want that free coffee, don't you? All right, y'all, let's get started. All right, y'all, we're back. Let me get into today's headlines so we can spend as much time as we can with Dr. Greta Oliver. Y'all, she's coming in. Trust me, you want to get this information. Y'all, here's our headlines for today. Bill Cosby, don't talk. Just don't talk. You shouldn't talk. You shouldn't talk, and you should never, ever weigh in on sex crimes and sex trafficking. You need to be quiet. And that's free. I'm giving you free counsel because somebody in your camp's not telling you. Be quiet. You're acting like OJ a little bit. Yeah, y'all, 9 counts of racketeering and sex trafficking for R. Kelly. He will spend decades in jail. Again, Bill Cosby, you don't talk. You don't talk. That's not good for you. You don't talk, Bill Cosby. All right, y'all. Obama's break ground yesterday on Presidential Library due to open in Chicago South Side. I like just saying that. I'm not from the hood, but I just like saying that because I know I can. All right, y'all. Amazon has created Astro. Yeah, Astro, the robot from Rocky 4 is a flying drone. So Amazon has created this. They've been talking about it for a while. It will launch today. Astro can keep a watchful eye on pets, children, and the would-be home invaders, all while topping out at the speed of 2 miles per hour. Users will be able to set boundary limits on which rooms Astro can enter and even make it a beatbox. It's basically a very slow guard dog that can't use the stairs and is all and also cannot use the stairs, but can also be a cup holder. Say that real fast. All right. Now, right there, if you got to tell Astro where Astro can't go, now come on, it's a robot. Y'all done seen these movies where these robots get too comfortable and go buck wild, and all of a sudden you can't control Astro? Amazon has released Astro, y'all. Now, if you get Astro today, it's $999. But the regular cost is $1,499. Now, I just want to talk about this a minute. If you got a robot watching your child, you don't need to be having children. You don't. So you heard that here. All right, y'all. Delivery, mail, packages, and containers. NPR headlines reads, mail delivery is about to get permanently slower and pricier for the holidays. My brother's on here. Y'all can ask him for yourself. That's my biological brother. That's my brother, y'all. That's my brother. Love him dearly. He works for the U.S. Post Office, so you can ask him. Beginning Friday, the U.S. Postal Service will start to implement new service standards for first-class mail and periodicals. Slowly, it targets delivery time about 30%. This is what the United States Postal Service spokesperson, Kim Frum, told NPR. Now, y'all, beginning on Sunday, yep, that's Sunday, October the 3rd, and ending December the 26th, the Postal Service will temporarily, y'all listen to this, temporarily increase prices on all commercial and retail domestic packages due to the holidays. That's happening. And my brother's in the chat. He said, we were just told that. Now, y'all, he works there. Y'all better believe him. He works there. There you go. So y'all getting ready to have to pay for it. Now, just so that y'all know this, you know, I just want y'all to know. Let me just put this, I'll put it up there in a minute. Y'all listen. One day, y'all gonna let everybody know, if they want to know the news ahead of time, they need to be watching News in Motion. How many times did we put stuff out here and then y'all hear it about a week later, sometimes 2 weeks later? We got the news. I have a discernment with what to put out there. Now, we see it all. All news networks see it all at the same time. But see, we read it. We have a different eye for what we're looking for. Y'all heard it here first. I think I told y'all this last Tuesday on September the 21st, to be exact, that right here on News in Motion, that I broke the story first. One day y'all gonna listen. Yep, the story of shipping and Thanksgiving and Christmas shopping. Yep, here we are, a week later. Now, others are ready to talk about it, but it's a little too late. The headlines we're reading yesterday: shipping crisis, holiday items will be hard to find, holiday staples will be more expensive, such as Christmas trees. Those fake Christmas trees, they already increased about 37%. So hopefully you got your last year's ones and you're going to use that one. Wrapping paper is increased about 19%. Decorations have increased about anywhere from 13 to 16%. Y'all, here's another headline: massive supply chains issues and computer chip shortages. Now, I told y'all about the computer chip shortages back in July. Y'all heard it here first. So that's a massive supply issue. Thanksgiving food shortages. I told y'all that last week too. I did. Where'd y'all hear it? Y'all heard it here first. But somebody gonna get on with the program soon. But y'all heard it here first. Yep. For example, last week I went to go, I said, let me start picking up some items because I'm reading the articles. So I go to look for the Pepperidge Farm, the cubes for the stuffing. No, you're not going to find that. So the bakeries are going to start making their own. So I went on Amazon thinking, I'll just go to Amazon and buy it. Now, regularly, those packages are about $2.39 a pack. Yeah. On Amazon, to get two is going to cost you $15. I don't need no stuffing like that. I want to show y'all these prices. This was on ABC6 here in Central Ohio yesterday. Y'all, this is the cost to book a 40-foot steel container between China and Europe. In 2020, it was $1,900 US currency. This year, $14,000. $14,000, people. That's what we dealing with. I want to see what y'all saying in here. They're still delivering periodicals. Yes, Kim. Yep, you said it. Thank you, Cherie. I said it. Diane says, Jess will use a treat from last year. Kim Carter said, I listened to obtain all my items in the deep freezer. Peaceful early holiday shopping. Thanks to Gail. Thank you, Dr. Kim Carter. Y'all listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. But for real, y'all, take this seriously. However you want to do it, make sure you jump in there. And I am happy that I was the first one to report it. Whatever. All right, y'all, Congress is in chaos. Progressives in the House could cause a delay. Senator Bernie Sanders, now he's in the Senate, he started signaling for the progressives in the House to hold the line. I'm like, we do that now? Y'all cross over and tell people to hold the line. So he's rallying his people to hold the line on Speaker Nancy. Nancy ain't worried. Speaker Pelosi's not worried. She's going to just be like, I don't have the votes. Well, I'm not going to put it on the floor. But what is on the line, y'all? What is on the line? Possible government shutdown is on the line. The reconciliation bill, the infrastructure bill. We're talking $3.5 trillion right about now. And they're going to get this money by raising taxes on corporations and the wealthy. So that's where we are. Kenny Stanley said, make some cornbread and make real stuffing. Whatever, Kenny. I don't cook like that. I don't cook like that. Y'all, just listen, COVID. I want y'all to take this in for a moment. Y'all, U.S. reports fifth week of more than 200,000 new pediatric COVID cases. And I'm going to leave that up there for a moment. Yeah. And now we have in New York where they're like, Friday's it. Y'all either get vaccinated or you're going to lose your job. So that's what's happening. That's in New York. They're being fired if they remain unvaccinated against COVID-19 as a state mandate that went into effect Monday. But it will definitely be, they got until Friday. They got grace. 16% of the state's healthcare workers, or about 83,000, are not fully vaccinated. That's happening. The good news is reported cases per day have fallen to about 116,000 per day. So that's where we are, y'all. That's where we are. We need to talk about this a little bit because, I'm just thinking about people who are going to lose their jobs. And now if they quit, they don't get unemployment in New York. If they get fired, I think, depending upon this vaccine, I don't know where they stand with that either. So y'all, let's pray for people. And, people have different reasons as to why they choose not to do certain things. So I'm not hating on anybody, but I definitely don't want anybody losing their job. I don't. So I just want to hear your take on that, if you don't mind. And while you're putting that in the chat, since it is National Coffee Day, we gotta talk about this right here. Yep, y'all. And I gotta tell y'all about Dublin too. I'll tell you that in a moment. But let's watch this video. actually, that video is a little outdated. You can now get it on the website directly. Great morning to you too. All right, y'all. I'm going to bring on the screen again. Share this, share this, share this. You're going to want to get this information. Dr. Greta Oliver. She's holding a doctoral degree in higher education from Ohio University. Dr. Greta Thomas Oliver is a professional coach who specializes in student development. Having spent years in the classroom as a student and teacher, Dr. Oliver is devoted to helping students transition from high school to higher education. Her areas of expertise include student development, program administration, student recruitment, student retention, career preparation, and program development. She is the owner of Greta Oliver Consulting, a hands-on consulting business that specializes in transitioning to higher education, personal development, and career training. And then I'm going to give you Dr. Oliver's information, but let me get her on this screen this morning. Bam! Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you? Welcome to the News in Motion family.
Thank you so much.
I noticed you've been on there. I'm like, she hooked.
Absolutely. So
Well, I want to give you as much time as possible to share this morning. And so I want to start by asking this question here. What inspired you to write this book? And y'all, just want y'all to see some of this. I was digging out information on her. Here's her book called College Roadmap. And I even had the link there where you can get it, where I will also put the link in the thread. But I also want y'all to know who's on here with you today. She got press releases everywhere. All right, y'all, she was on the Amazon. Her book hit 12 Amazon bestseller lists with first book, College Roadmap. So I want y'all to know we have somebody on here who's going to really help us today. I just want you to know that. So I'm just so proud of you. I was digging your stuff. I was like, this girl got it going on. Now, did I have it right? You're in North Carolina?
Yes, I am. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. So what prompted you to write this book? Share with us.
Okay. Well, as you just heard, I have a lot of experience in education, higher education, post-secondary education. And also I have 4 adult children who all had their college-going experiences. I have gone to predominantly white institutions for all of my degrees, and I have worked with students for, I don't even know, it's probably numbering in the thousands by now, over 25 years of working with students. And so I saw what kind of issues students face when they go to college and what kind of situation they find themselves in when they are kind of like just left on a campus and they really don't know what to do. I was also in that situation myself as a first generation college student. And so I just want to be helpful. I want to help somebody today. And I just always tried to make it easier for the students that I work with, and was that person that they could always come to and talk to, the person that kind of led them and helped them in their trajectory. And so I just wanted to continue to do that once I left higher education. And so that's really why I wrote the book, because I still want to be useful and helpful to students who are transitioning from high school to college.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yay. We're glad about that. Tell us more about some of the things that you see or hear from both parents and students as you are helping them on this journey.
Well, I see a lot of just confusion, really, and especially since COVID, more confusion has been introduced into the mix. Basically, it depends. It kind of depends whether the student is a first-time student going to college and they don't have parents that went to college, because sometimes they don't have any support. They don't know where they're going. They just end up on campus, like I said, and they really don't know what to do, and they can't ask anybody. And sometimes it could be a student that is kind of reserved, they're an introvert, maybe they're shy, whatever, and they don't have the confidence or the self-esteem to go ask for help. And sometimes they're just absolutely overwhelmed and lost. And by the time they really realize what's going on, it's really too late. They've begun, on a path that's destructive, or they're, not paying attention to their studies. They don't realize why they're on the campus, that they're really supposed to be getting an education. And then they, kind of just lose themselves. And we have too many people, too many Black and brown and people of color, students of color, who have just lost it. They don't know what they're doing and they're not making it. And so we have a lot of dropouts. Right now, there's a crisis for males, Black males, in higher education. There's not many involved in going to school. And so it's just really important to get that helping hand out there to parents as well as students, because a lot of times when, they have no direction. And so that's what I've been trying to help with the writing of the book, kind of like a path, like a guidebook, an actual roadmap, if you will, to help someone get from point A to point B. And what we want to see is students get on campus, find a campus that fits, somewhere where they feel comfortable, and to be able to make it on that campus to graduation. That's what I want to see. And so that's why, I've written a book, and that's why I'm trying to help as many students as I can. I'm trying to make a difference one student at a time.
I love this. So, and I'm gonna turn the screen over to you so you can give us more details and resources. Before I do that, and before I ask the question, Adrian is saying students rising to college don't always have the know-how of navigating college life. I see it daily. She works at The Ohio State University, so she's aware of that. We also have Dr. Kim Carter on here as well, who's with Strayer. So with saying that, not only what I'm hearing in our conversation, there's a stress of, do I have the finances to do it? Mm-hmm. And then there's a stress of, how do I navigate this being away from home? Yeah. And then there's a stress of, I don't have that teacher holding my hand or holding me accountable. Mm-hmm. So can you speak to those things? And as other questions come up, I'll pop those up as well.
Okay. I think it's a combination of all of those things. And it could all be hitting the person that's involved in higher education at the same time. A lot of times you don't have even the self-confidence to really believe that you can even make it on a college campus. For example, as a first generation college student coming from Cleveland, Ohio, in Cleveland public schools, when I went to Bowling Green State University way back in the day, I kind of felt like I was just being dropped off in the middle of nowhere. My parents hadn't gone to college. I really didn't have anyone to ask. And so, like your viewer said, I had no navigation skills. I really didn't know what was going on. And so, you don't even have the confidence to kind of go and you also kind of feel some kind of embarrassment or shame because you have to ask for help, or because you feel like you need to ask somebody for help and you haven't been used to asking somebody for help. And so that's a problem that, is really prevalent. And so I think that is why, we're having so much difficulty with students being able to make the transition easy. And plus you also have, just homesickness, things like that, things that kind of hit you when you look around and you don't have any of your family members nearby. And sometimes that's the first time that a student has gone away for any length of time and spent time away from home, and you don't have your mom and you don't have, your dad or your family members to help you. And like you said, Gail, you don't have anybody to hold your hand. And so one thing that I did notice, I've been lately in some Facebook groups talking about, college tips, and parents are asking all kinds of questions. And this is one of the ways that I know that parents are completely confused, because they're asking questions about this very important decision of them helping their student to go to college from other people who don't know what's going on. And so it's really kind of disheartening, because it's almost like the blind leading the blind in a way. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on these groups giving these answers out or providing some kind of direction, don't know what they're talking about. But a lot of times I think the best way that you find out about the college going process is to do the research for yourself. And so, like you're saying, Adrian, pride can get in the way. It's very, very hard to, kind of admit, wow, I really don't have what it takes. And so, that's a real hard lesson, especially when you get on a campus where you don't feel like you have people that look like you, you don't have anybody that you feel like you can reach out to. And on campuses, I was that person. I was the one who was, calling the students in for meetings and trying to talk to them and trying to encourage them and sending them to find their advocates. And there are advocates on campus, but you have to find them. You have to know where to go to get help. You have to know where these offices are. You have to know who these people are. You have to develop relationships with them so they'll be able to help you as a student on campus. And so this really wasn't the way I was going to present this. I just want to kind of talk about that in general because it's so true. And a lot of those points are addressed in the book. The book, like I said, is a guidebook. It has 20 tips to help students and their families from before the search, like before you're actually looking for college, after or during the wait, which is when you're waiting for decisions to be made on the colleges that you've chosen, and after acceptance, after the student is actually on campus. What do you do then? And so, I would just encourage you, as Gail said, if you know anyone, if you have a student that's that college age, maybe anywhere from middle school up through age 18, or if you know anyone, and I know everybody on here knows someone, you know somebody. There's people in organizations, there's people in your church's youth group, there's friends of friends, there's relatives. Try to help somebody, get this book in their hands and try to lend them some direction because it really is a hard process. And so what I wanted to really talk to you guys this morning about was finances in college and some ways in which you can kind of save some money. Now, unless you have been really planning your child's college experience from the womb, you probably will need to get some help with planning to go to college, and you need to know about saving some money in the meantime. And so I know you guys are all working on financial freedom, and we all want to be debt free, and we all want to be in control of our lives financially. And so I just want to give you some tips really quick about ways in which you can save money in relationship to college. And so one of the first things that I think that everybody should be aware of is everybody does not have to go to college. It's a good option for those that really want to go. But for students that have no desire to be on a college campus, regardless, that is the biggest savings of money that you could possibly have, is if you find out, and you need to have a frank talk with the student in your life, okay? A frank talk. Listen, are you really wanting to go to college? Why do you really want to go to college? And have them give you some real reasons why they want to go. Now, if they can't come up with anything, or they're hemming and hawing and they don't know what, then maybe this is not the time for them or not the path for them. And so that's, like I said, the biggest savings. Why go somewhere just because maybe your parents went or somebody else is encouraging you to, but that's not what you want to do? That is the biggest waste of money and the biggest waste of time. Secondly, you want to think about the type of college that your student is interested in going to. There's a lot of different types of colleges. There's public versus private. There's in-state versus out-of-state. Community college versus a four-year university. So if you can get that narrowed down, you could at least know where to direct your search. Some of these options are cheaper than others. For example, a public university is going to be cheaper than a private. An in-state institution is going to be cheaper than an out-of-state institution. A community college, which really the mission of a community college is access, and there's community colleges almost on every corner. They're in every city. They're close by, and that's a good option, especially if your student is unsure of if they really want to go, but they think they might want to go, or if they're undecided in their major, because they can go to community college and hopefully they can gain take their general ed requirements, and then they can transfer those requirements should they decide to go on to a four-year institution. But of course, you want to check on how the transfer works and if the credits will transfer first before you do that. And so There's also, as someone mentioned, trade schools, all kind of different options for schools. So you do not have to go to a four-year institution. And as I said before, you really don't even have to go to college, but college is a good choice for those who would like to go. So I want to say, if you're on a budget and you really don't have the money available, and your student might be a little undecided about whether they want to go or not, a community college is really a good option for them to kind of get their general education requirements out of the way, and to be able to get their feet wet, kind of see what college is like. And community colleges are a bit different than four-year institutions, but at least would allow them to get started. And so they can continue from that, from there on, if they would like to go and transfer, like I said. And so there's also residential versus commuter. Commuter colleges are typically community colleges. You drive in, you drive home. Residential colleges, you spend the night, you stay in a residence hall, you live there. And so those, of course, are more expensive than just driving back and forth, but you have to weigh the cost for yourself. How far is it from your house for your student to commute, or where they're staying, or how much is parking, and how much is gas, and how much is the maintenance of car. So you need to take all of that into consideration when you're making these decisions. And you also need to realize that if your student is staying on campus, usually there's a requirement that they stay in a residence hall for at least the first year, maybe the first 2 years. So that's very important that you weigh those costs as well. So because after let's say the junior year, they're able to go and live off campus. At that point, then maybe they can get a roommate. They can also maybe share expenses with someone and pay for an apartment and things of that nature. And maybe that can be some cost savings for them. Now, if they're staying on campus, maybe the room savings or the savings will come when they have like multiple roommates. So you can have 2 roommates, you can have 3 roommates, you can have 4 roommates, and at that point, I'm thinking it's getting a little crazy, but that is a way to save a little bit of money that way. And so the third way that I'm trying to talk about this morning about saving money is financial aid. I cannot say enough about financial aid. You can start searching for financial aid at any time. And so the earlier you start, the better, because this is something that does take time. It's not going to appear overnight, but you can find all kinds of money if you are looking for it, and if you're looking in the right places. There's a lot of different types of aid, but primarily we're going to talk about grants, scholarships, and loans. Now, grants, that's money that you don't have to pay back. We all love grants. That's our best friend, okay? Scholarships, they can be merit-based, they can be athletic scholarships, they can be based on a membership in a group, they can come from various sources, like maybe community centers, community groups that you belong to, organizations that you may belong to or your student belongs to. They can come through programs such as Shirley is talking about, or different things that they have available in the community to allow funds to be given to your child when they get ready to go to college. Sometimes even your employer has like an employee benefit that is can be applicable to your child. And so there's a lot of different ways, but like I said, you have to start early and you have to do all of the work that's required for that. There's loans, which is we really don't want to talk about loans, but that is a way to be able to pay for school. And so, that's one good thing to think about. You need to fill out the FAFSA. You need to fill out all of the online applications for scholarships. And I also think that I might need to come back and talk to you guys later about other ways in which you can save money. But just remember, this is a journey and it is work, but it's worth it when you get the return on investment.
I love everything you had to say. And I was looking at the time saying, I'm going to have to cut her off. Yeah. And which I hate that. I hate that all the time. But y'all, number one, get her book. It's called College Roadmap. You can find it on Amazon. We will also put her link of her organization in there, which I had it popped up a few times when she was speaking. Again, y'all, this is Dr. Greta Oliver. The book, The College Roadmap, again, it was listed as Amazon top 12 bestseller, the top 12 bestsellers list. So y'all, it's no joke. I was floating out there and was able to find out that this book is being offered in the classroom. So there's some information in there that I think we all need to glean from. So thank you so much. We're going to have her on a Zoom, y'all, a Zoom workshop. So if you know anybody, make sure you're a Patreon member. Go to www.patreon.com/newsinmotion and join. Y'all, $15 a month. That's 5 cups of coffee. And today your coffee is free. So you can go and put that $5 in the bucket so that you can come on over to Patreon. Many thanks to you for joining us today. I'm going to go into the inspirational message. You can stay in the green room and I'll come back to you once I shut down the show. So thank you. All right, y'all, the inspirational message for today. The inspirational message for today is this. Who told you that? Who told you you cannot conquer, you cannot progress, you cannot do the things that God has ordained for you to do in this season? Y'all know I pulled that out of Genesis chapter 1 and 2 and 3 what I'm going to go in and talk about right now. Listen, y'all, listen. When Adam and Eve, at that point was the man and the woman, hid because in the cool of the night, they heard, God coming up upon them. And, they were like, he was like, who told you that? I just love that. Who told you that? Who told you that you were naked? Who told you that you can't do certain things? Thank you, Dr. Kim Carter. She said, get Gail's book. Who told you that? Listen, who told you that? Y'all, we need to come out of allowing other people to speak things or to project things into our lives that does not line up with what God has called us to do in a particular season. We have to be bold and live the life that God has called us to live. Listen, time out for seeking permission from people. Time out from seeking someone to validate the work that God has called you to do in this season. Time out for all of that, y'all. It's a new season, y'all. It's a new day. And what's the song? Fresh anointing coming your way. There's a freshness. There's a mighty move, I believe, in this season. I told y'all yesterday about Hannah. See, y'all, we need to start praying and asking God and remove ourselves from it and allow Him to bless us the way He would want to bless us. And I think that is so important. But I think I need to add this piece to this as well. And that is when you allow God to move in your life, get ready. I want you to get ready because the enemy is going to come to steal, kill, and destroy. But we have to remember that Jesus comes to bring life and to bring it in abundance. And in that abundance, come on, the enemy can't knock you off your feet, but he's going to come to try to get you off course. But that's when you have to tap into what's on the inside of you and continue to stand. Y'all, tomorrow is the last day of September, and I want to do something different. And for tomorrow, I want to have a panel discussion. So I'm going to randomly contact 5 of you. We already kind of did that. We randomly selected. Now we're going to contact you. We're going to ask if you would come on and hang out with us. We're going to have what we call rapid fire tomorrow. It's the end of the month. We want to do something different. We're going to have rapid fire. Y'all, I believe it's going to sizzle. It's going to be fire. It's going to be thebomb.com. We're going deep. No topic is off the table. All I ask is that we got to watch our language. That's all. And I want everybody to come tomorrow with your mimosa. Come with your mimosa. If you have coffee, that's cool too. But we want you to come. So when you get that text message from me in about 30 minutes, don't ignore me. Just say, okay, Gail, I'm going to come on and do rapid fire with you. Y'all, I am so grateful again to Dr. Greta Oliver. who joined us today. We are going to have her come on a Zoom. We're also going to have Kim Edmondson come on a Zoom as well. And I need to clarify something. Last week, I talked about, if you really want to understand the whip, that a great show to watch, the great show to watch is House of Cards. I know I have a lot of young people who tune in from schools. Parents, you might want to censor that because there are some really deep scenes. There's some sex scenes as well in House of Cards. House of Cards can be found on Netflix, but that's a great political show if you're wanting to really navigate and understand some moves and some things that happen. And that's what's currently happening. Not the sex part, Lisa, I don't know about that, but it's currently happening when it comes to the whip and what's on the table and how bills are taken to the floor and how they're counting votes, everything. That's a great show. But I need to go back and say, it's rated R. So parents, you might want to censor your children with that. Some of you asked about how did it go at Dublin yesterday. I'm gonna just give y'all some truth on how it went at Dublin yesterday. Yesterday, and I don't know if I ever said this, although we were talking about voting. Yesterday was National Voter Registration Day. So there were other dignitaries who were at the school as well. I'm not a dignitary, so I shouldn't say others. I was there while there were dignitaries at the school. And you kind of like get pushed to the side, which is cool. I came with the gifts and the prizes. Everybody else had nothing. A couple people had ink pens, but it's very interesting to see the dynamics with that. So I just kind of fell back and let them do what they do. But it was interesting at the end who the students went to. All the students, literally all 100% of the students that I was dealing with were all over there where I was standing. And we had a great conversation. And there were several people who did register to vote. So I'm excited about that. And there is a vote in Ohio on November the 2nd, as I'm sure there's in other places as well. But thank you for tuning in again. Thank you, Dr. Greta Oliver. And y'all, tomorrow, don't forget, if y'all see my name pop up on your phone, don't ignore me. Don't ignore me. I'm coming for you if you ignore me. And I'm going to call you out on the panel tomorrow. All right, y'all. Y'all make it a great day. It's National Coffee Day. Go get your free coffee and donut if you've been vaccinated at Krispy Kreme. There you go.